the score for that practice test and you're like, what? Oh, shoot. Okay guys, I'm just feeling really happy about that score. This vlog is going to be another vlog brought to you by a comment about minis. Minis are the exams that we take at Ross, and I can't think of a bigger misnomer. They are definitely not miniature. Okay, so here's how it works for all semesters except the last one. You have 4 minis per semester and then 1 final. Within each mini, you have different disciplines. So to pass a mini in Ross, you have to get greater than a 55 to 60% in each discipline. And then when all that is added up, if you reach the minimum pass rate for the mini as a whole, then you pass. That might not have made sense. Hey guys, so I'm editing right now, and like I can't really think of how to explain it. If you're not at Ross or if you're not going through it, I guess you're not gonna understand, but it kind of works like umbrellas. You have the umbrella for within the mini, which are the disciplines like micro, biochem, clinical medicine, these things. So you have that umbrella where within that umbrella you have to pass those disciplines, and then the sum of all those disciplines, if it's greater than the minimum passing score for the mini, the top envelope, then you pass. I think it's very hard for you to pass these individual disciplines and not pass the mini in total, but I mean, you have to pass, I guess, 2 levels to actually pass. Oh my gosh, I'm listening to myself and it sounds so complicated. Actually, no, I'm gonna get the whiteboard and attempt to draw again. Okay, so here's what I've come up with. I really didn't want to leave you guys with such a crap explanation. But you have 4 minis plus a final. The final is complicated because depending on the semesters, it changes. We'll talk about those later. Each mini has different disciplines, and each discipline changes depending on the mini. For example, in your first mini, you probably have a lot of micros, so that's going to be a discipline. In your second mini, you might not have as much micros. It's not going to be weighted as heavily on the second mini, so it's not going to be up to the category of a discipline. Maybe I didn't explain this properly before. We're not only tested on these subjects. We're tested on all subjects, but the subjects that have the most questions are then put into the discipline category, which you have to pass. So I think the point around this was to not give students the opportunity to only focus on one subject and procrastinate on others. For example, if your exam has even amounts of micro, biochem, clinical medicine, and path, but you hate biochem, you're gonna study your ass off for micro, clinical medicine, and path and just skimp on biochem. And so your average is like 0 in biochem while everything else is pulling up your overall grade. Does that make sense? So students no longer have the opportunity to skip on a subject, to like sacrifice questions on a test. So you have to pass each discipline. You can't say, oh, I hate biochem, I'm just not going to answer any biochem questions and just make it up with micro. Understand? Since it has to be between 55 and 60, let's say that you get 57% here. Sorry for the bad handwriting. 57% here. I was looking at the phone instead of the board. And then 57% here. Let's say you get all that, right? If you add that up, let's say 57% times 4, whatever, and then you would divide by 4 again, whatever. Your average for the overall mini is going to be 57%, okay? Cool. So technically, you have passed all disciplines. Congratulations. Where this might not work out for you is if the minimum passing score for the actual mini is 60%. Then you're screwed. You passed all disciplines, sure, but you're not good enough to pass the overall mini. Okay, I think that's a better explanation. I really couldn't leave you guys with that explanation I made before. I'm satisfied with that answer I just gave. Great. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Remember to like and subscribe, comment, and share.